Hello, I'm Rasmussen, President of Kongskilde Industries here in Hudson, Illinois. And we're proud to show you the new facility we've just expanded. We've added 75,000 square feet, which includes an automated blast and paint system to provide a powder paint coverage for our equipment that'll hopefully also give you a better product in the end for the customer. What we want to show you is the facility we've added, 75,000 square feet, and the new line. We'll walk through the different processes in the system, including our robotic welding that we've also introduced. At this stage here, we want to show the top coat powder paint being applied to the parts. We have an automated system with guns moving up and down and in and out, as well as a spot for our operators to do manual touch-up of any corners, crevices that may not be covered by the automatic guns. From here, it passes into the ovens, where it cures for 450 degrees for approximately 1 hour to give the final glossy finish that you'll see at the end. With the investment we've made in this new powder paint system, by applying a primer coat plus a top coat of powder paint, it gives us approximately 1,100 salt spray hour paint quality on our materials. This gives the end user, the farmer, the machine will look just like it did brand new 5 years down the road, even 7 years down the road, even if you put it out in the sun for all that time period. So that way it equates into a better value on the machine when he goes to trade it in. It still looks relatively new. So this is one of the things we've tried to do for our customers, is improve the value long-term of our product. Prior to putting this in, we used a wet paint system, and in order to do the same amount of volume, we were working 3 shifts with 8 people per shift tied into the paint and blast system. Currently, we can do with 1 shift what we were doing with 3 shifts prior and have a little bit of excess capacity.
Hi, my name is Ron Dezuda and I'm with Pangborn. We specialize in surface preparation. And what we do is we take steel that has been fabricated and has been welded and fabricated to the customer specification. And we take that and we put it through our blast machine. The blast machine is an 1884. This particular machine has 12 wheels. Also has magna valves and variable frequency drives. So what the customer is able to do, what Kongskilde is able to do, is they can select a recipe. And we have a capability of 20 different recipes. So they can select the amperage that they want for a given part. So if we have like 12 gauge, very thin sheet metal, they can dial back on the fly, dial it back to a very low velocity and reduce the amount of shot that they're going to throw at the part. And what this does is it keeps the part from warping during the blast process. Now I say blast process, what that is taking steel shot, and they're using an S330 steel shot, and then we have our high-speed wheels, or actually medium-speed wheels, and we take the shot and we throw it at the part and knock off any scale, any oxidation, any rust, and we prepare that surface for paint. And as I said, when we have heavy steel, like you just saw in the video, we have heavy steel, we can use a recipe that goes up to 27 amps and hit it with a lot of force because we don't have to worry about warpage, and it'll go through the blast machine. This is the control center where the operator can select the recipe that he wants for the given parts that are going through. And like I mentioned, there's 20 different recipes in this particular machine and capable of much more. As I mentioned, there's 12 wheels. There's 6 on this side, and they're in various orientations. We shoot from the top, from the middle, and from the bottom. so we're able to cover all surfaces. We also have 6 wheels on the other side, 6 on the top, 2 on top, 2 in the middle, 2 on the bottom. So again, we have 12 wheels. What's really unique about this machine is that we elected, because of the ceiling height, we elected to bring the separators down onto the floor. So it's unique, not everybody has this arrangement. And what we do is we take the steel shot, we throw it at the parts going through blast. As the parts get clean, the media, the shot that we just talked about, breaks down. And what the separator does is, through an air wash, through the back, it is able to take the air and remove the fine particles of shot and dispose of them into the bottom here, so that we're not throwing bad shot at the parts. And what this does is it prolongs the life of the machine, because we're only throwing good shot at the parts as they pass through. On the back end of the machine, to give you an idea, what I'm holding here is good clean shot, and this right here is the shot after it's been used. You can see it's much finer. It's more of a dusty material, whereas the steel shot you saw is more round, and this is in the process of blasting the part. This is what happens. After the blast machine, it goes through a air wash where we blow off as much shot as we can, and then beyond that we have the air touch-up room. In the touch-up room, because of the various geometries of the part, the operator can go in with a wand and actually hit those areas that may not have been covered during the blast. And typically during the fabrication, you might have like a piece of steel that's like that, so like your L shape in this area won't get completely covered, so he can touch it up, and he also has the capability to blow it off to make sure all the shots removed. And that's basically it. It's capable of running 7 feet a minute. It's basically it.
One of the things we've also invested in is robotic welding technology. This one here that we're going to show you run is a single robotic station that we use for making smaller repetitive parts. We also have a double station that we use for our larger frames. What that has allowed us to do is to give a more consistent product as far as quality goes, but also saved us a lot of labor. Our double station on doing frames has taken frames that were taking us 4.5 manual hours are now taking us 45 minutes. These smaller parts are only taking minutes a piece, where before it was taking a lot longer as well. One of the things we had to do in order to comply with the local regulations was put in a sprinkler system. Unfortunately, we're not in a municipality, so we don't have town water, town sewers. So to overcome that, we ended up putting in a 20,000 gallon water tank to handle the sprinkler system for the new production facility. Together with a new pump system that can empty this tank in less than 15 minutes, that helped us meet that requirement. In this area here is where we receive our raw material. In our case, we send our drawings out electronically to our steel supplier, who laser cuts our steel to the length, and also any holes, openings that we want, angles. They're all pre-cut prior to arriving here. Our steel supplier also bundles these steel tubes to the bundles that we take from here to our welding station, where they take them and fit them together, tack it, and then it goes to our robotic welding stations to finish welding, and then on into our paint line and off to the customer. What we try to do is keep a minimal inventory of raw steel. We work on a 2-week just in time, where we forecast with the steel company prior to that. One of the other things we did with the new expansion was look at our complete layout and how could we structure it more efficiently. We basically just took our whole space and started with a clean sheet of paper and said, okay, where's the best place for everything? What it meant was our former welding area is now our warehouse. In here we have a little over 12,000 various part numbers in different quantities. Our goal here is if a farmer dealer calls in with a parts request by noon, it leaves the same day, pending stock availability. But generally we have a good selection of parts to keep the farmers running. One of the other things we did with our parts area, we started this approximately a year ago, is everything is barcoded, and we use scanners only to pull parts, move parts, receive parts, to make sure that everything stays accurate and consistent. What we were finding before, obviously with the number of part numbers, they're not a 4-digit number. Some of our part numbers have 10, 12 digits. And what we were finding was some of our staff were reading the last 3, 4 numbers, and it would end up being a farmer would get a bearing instead of a frame, or vice versa. That's maybe a little extreme, but now with scanners, there's complete accuracy because it takes the whole number into account. All right, here we are in front of one of our final products. It's a strip till machine in our new branded colors as well. But it just also wanted to highlight that Kongskilde is committed to agriculture the long term. That's why we did this expansion, and also to improve the quality of our product. We are planning for the long-term future, not just the short term. We want to be able to service our customers and continue to develop products, not only just for now, but for the next several years to come. And with our new facility, we are now poised to be able to handle the growth in the coming years.